You will surprise, but I will start with one question. Do you like Lego? What, Kate? Do you like Lego?
No.
Okay. Mary, do you like Lego?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
My favorite toy.
Why I ask that? Because our organism is big Lego house, and these Lego bricks are our genes that we can change or delete it. Today you will hear about what is genetic engineering, why it's relevant for us, genes and what they made of, about all that you need to know about genes, and the most interesting part, how we can control our genome. When I interested in it, as far as I can remember, it was 2 years ago that my granddad bought me a book about biotechnologies. And one part of this was about genetic engineering. And after that, I started learning. Why it is relevant even for a grader? Just imagine that you can do with your genes. You can delete it, you can change it and introduce them. Genetic engineering is a huge sandbox that only limited by budget. Most of all, genetic engineering is a very important part of medicine now. Scientists, those develop the genetic therapy, saves thousands, millions of lives all over the world. This science gives genealogy to us, which can solve the problem in the future with food. And if we have more genetic engineers, people will learn how to completely change their genome and get different abilities or biological immortality. What is DNA and genes in general? DNA is a long polymer molecule that consists of repeated nucleides block. Gene is a structural and functional heredity unit of living organism. Let's talk about genes more detail. Genes is part of DNA that sets the sequence of defined peptide or functional RNA. Now science found that genes are parts of DNA which prevent any information about structure of a protein molecule or RNA molecule. These and other functional molecules determine the development, growth and function of the body. Genes can have mutations, random or target change in sequence of nucleotides in the DNA chain. Genes make the human genome. What is it? Human genome is an individual genetic code of each of person. Our genome has near 30,000 pairs of genes that's situated in chromosomes. All people have 23 pairs of chromosomes that code karyotype. I said about peptide. This is a substance that mostly consists of 8 amino acids and RNA, one of 3 main macromolecules which contained in the cells of all living organisms and play an important role in coding, reading, regulation and expression genes. Let's imagine these 2 chains of monomers in DNA, and half of this, or small part, is this RNA. This part correct bad genes and make other more good and more useful genes for us. Just like DNA, RNA consists of long chain where each part of it called a nucleotide. Thank you. Let's see. We have 4 nucleotides. A, adenine, T, thymine, C, cytosine, and G, guanine. This is for nucleotides of our DNA. And one interesting fact that in front only nucleotide T can stay opposite nucleotide A, and only nucleotide G can stay opposite nucleotide C, or they can be stayed like this: CC, GG, and AA, entity. Now we will back to our main question: how we can control our genes. Genetic engineering specializes on synthesis of proteins, changing genes, and getting the desired qualities of change or modified organism. So many scientists practice on animals, and now we have the corn that have genes of acid snakes to protect itself from insects, goat that have genes of spider, and it can give milk with some fiber that was as straight as steel. But what about humans? Science didn't make experiments on people. To control our genes, we should change chromosomal material that we give from mother and father. 23 chromosomes from mother and 23 chromosomes from father. Now I will talk about experiments of people that I know. First experiment will be based on hypothesis of special diet. French scientist Laurent and Sandowski put forward the hypothesis that women who want to have son should eat spicy food, which are rich in sodium and potassium salts. Women wishing to have daughters should eat more dairy products, which are rich in calcium and magnesium. What does it mean? If you want to have a son, you should eat spicy food near 3 weeks before that when you plant this child. Or if you want a daughter, you need to eat dairy products. And this is the genome of us, of human, but this is only 40% of genome. This is our nucleotides, A, T, G, T, and C. And another interesting fact that our and chimpanzee genomes are same and 98%. On old genomes, we have only 600 different nucleotides. This is second experiment, and this experiment was illegal, and the scientist who made it was arrested. At the end of 2018, the children were born in China, whose genome was changed. One of the parents, father, was HIV positive, and the children, according to the standard, born healthy. At the end of January 2019, the Chinese authorities officially confirmed the facts of this experiment, while the scientist was forbidden to engage scientific activities, and he was arrested. Because the scientists changed children's genomes illegal, and parents didn't know that. And for rules of genetic engineering, we can't change human genome while we didn't practice it on apes. And what I want to say, all our lives can change every minute, and if we can't understand or just accept something, it's normal, and we are afraid of it. But humans always will go and discover something new, something that we can be fantastic or horrible. And genetic engineering is one of fantastic human discoveries that can change our lives in best way or ruin it at the same time.
Okay, thank you.